So, the legalization of marijuana. It sounds pretty in theory because we as Americans have this idea that the government should stay out of our business and they don't have any right to say what we do on our own time. But whenever it threatens the life of the people who didn't choose, it is America's business. It's the government's business to take care of those people who can't take care of themselves. The legalization of marijuana means more dangerous roads, more dangerous workplaces, not to mention a threat to one's own personal safety or the people around them. And finally, what's the difference between passing the legalization of marijuana and the legalization of other drugs? As you'll see, the same argument applies to things like methamphetamines, heroin, everything like that. So, first part, dangerous roads and workplaces. Let's talk about impaired driving. So in a recent Colorado case study that they did, that included several different eras. So 2006 to 2008 was early medical marijuana legalization. 2009 to present is medical marijuana commercialization and expansion era. In 2013 to present was recreational marijuana legalization in Colorado. So a couple of important facts here. So traffic fatalities involving operators testing positive for marijuana have increased 100%. That's doubling from 2007 to 2012. The majority of driving under the influence with drugs arrests involved marijuana. 25 to 40% were marijuana alone. And toxicology reports with positive marijuana results for driving under the influence have increased 16% from 2011 to 2013. So I think that in and of itself says their roadways are a lot more dangerous in Colorado than they used to be. Because I don't think anyone can make the argument that driving while under the influence of marijuana is safe. And as you can see with alcohol, it's a big problem. Just because you say it's illegal doesn't mean people won't do it. So let's talk about workers under the influence. So I don't know about you guys, but I wouldn't want a doctor operating on me or prescribing me medications who's also stoned. And how do you tell if he's stoned? Or what about a nurse who's calculating your medications that can possibly kill you, who's under the influence? Or working in a factory with somebody who's operating heavy machinery who can misoperate it and not only hurt themselves but hurt somebody else. And like I said, there's no quick way to test if somebody's under the use of marijuana, like the breathalyzer and alcohol use. Somebody can't pull you over and, just take one quick test and say, oh, okay, you're good. And what numerical value is someone under the influence of marijuana too much to drive? Or, with alcohol, it's 0.08%. There's not that, nobody's really put any time or thought or quick way to do that so that it can be policed and regulated. So, let's talk about the personal health dangers. So, I believe fully that young people don't understand quite the dangers that they're doing and putting their bodies through. And that, it's going to decrease their chance of success. The typical pothead ideal and didn't come about from nowhere. Like, we all have that one friend who, smokes too much pot, doesn't do too much, and isn't going to ever be anything. And we can say all we want that pot doesn't affect you and that it's not addictive and that it won't decrease your chance of success in any way, but we all know that's not true. A couple of studies. So, the American Medical Association recently came out and said that they do not support the use of medical marijuana or marijuana in any way or any legalization of it. They did a study that heavy cannabis use in adolescents caused persistent impairments in neurocognitive performance and IQ. And use is associated with increased rates of anxiety, mood, and psychotic thought disorders. Another study done in New Zealand followed more than 1,000 subjects from birth to 38 years old, and they saw that persistent cannabis use was associated with neuropsychological decline broadly across domains of functioning, even after controlling for years of education. So, and then also you have to think about whenever people, it decreases their judgment whenever they smoke marijuana. So, what about accident rates? In the same study that I used in the part about the roadway safety. They looked at the, you know, accident rates. So from 2011 to 2013, there was a 57% increase in marijuana-related emergency room visits. That's a lot of accidents. And then hospitalizations related to marijuana have increased 82% from 2008 to 2013. A whole lot, and a whole lot of taxpayer money. My last point is that if you pass the legalization of marijuana, what's the difference in passing other illicit substances? I mean, heroin technically is a pain reliever, and a really good one. We modeled a bunch of different drugs after it to control people's pains. Amphetamines, same thing. They help ADHD and ADD people. And say, well, you know, it's their own choice. It's their own body. They can do what they want. It's obviously helping them. What is it harming you? And, I mean, as you can see, we don't want those things legalized because it is a public safety risk. And what about the people in their family? So if the government should stay out of one's personal business, then why not apply the same ideal to all aspects? We don't, obviously, because like I said, it hurts the people who do not choose to partake. So even if you solely look at this argument in risk versus benefits, you can see clearly that the risk of the public far outweigh the benefits, which are what exactly? That someone can have some fun, that someone may feel some pain relief, go to the doctor, take a Tylenol, that it may help the economy. Someone's life is far more important than a quick fix to the economy, especially when the public safety risk could end up costing the economy greatly. I urge you to consider the potential dangers that this could bring about to not only the people who choose to partake, but also the ones who don't. The children of the parents who do, the people behind the wheel is on the same road as the people who do, the people working alongside the ones who do. Legalization is opening a Pandora's box.